Alright, looks like we're online. And so today I'm planning on just doing some tactics, and hopefully I could do this somewhat regularly for a little while since it's the summer. I would have started earlier, but I've been not feeling super well, and I still don't, so we'll see how far I can get today. We'll start with these medium ones, because I don't really know the site super well. I recently did a video about if it's worth the membership, and that's about as far as I've gotten with it. So medium it is for now. This one looks like a back rank motif. I'll just wait a minute so somebody can confirm that the sound's good. Well, maybe I'll go ahead with it. Let's see, I'm thinking about, can I draw arrows in this one? No. So I'm thinking about taking this rook. They should probably take back, because otherwise they're just down a rook. Bring the other rook to f8, and this is attacking the queen and f1, and I don't see any way they can guard both of those things. They probably have to just give the queen up, and that's probably the end of the game. So, yay! I gained 22 points for thinking like that. Awesome. Oh, maybe I should make a little thing where you can see my progress. If you guys will allow me a moment, I will edit the scene. Hopefully this is not a big deal. Alright, maybe like this. Alright, this is a little janky, so I apologize for how it looks. Alright, I think that worked out. Maybe get rid of this little bar. Line it up like that. Who cares about chess tempo time? Yeah, this looks pretty good. Good enough. By the way, shout out to Roshan and John and Shai, who all recently subscribed. Not subscribed, but became members, which is a pretty big deal because I'm doing the YouTube partner now. Okay, so this one, they're trying to give a check, but I'm not sure I care. I might. There could be a checkmate here. Something like rook h1. I keep trying to draw arrows, it's just not happening. If this knight wasn't here, that'd be mate right away. But if I take, this allows them to move to give a check, and then do this, and then go here. And then I would have to move somewhere, like e6, and they could take this one. And then this bishop h2 mate, so maybe that's actually worth considering. But after bishop takes, pawn takes, it doesn't look that promising. Like, we're down a queen. Oh, also an update, in case you guys weren't aware, I now have a merch store on Stream Elements, and you can see the link to that on my YouTube channel homepage. So if you guys want to get like cool chess mugs and things like that, that's the way to do it. Yeah, king e6, that's definitely how that line would go. NHL, and you have a lot of numbers, so thank you for tuning in. What I was calculating for that one is bishop g3, queen a8, king d7, rook d1, king e6, and if they play like rook takes d8, then bishop h2 is mate. The area where I'm not certain right now is bishop g3, pawn takes g3. Because if I play rook h1, that's actually not really anything as far as I can tell. Like, they play king f2, and we're still down a lot, right? Like, they have 2 rooks, we have 2 rooks, we have 3 minor pieces, they have 2, but they have a queen, so we are down a queen for a minor piece in that position. What would be really nice would be if I could play rook h1, knight takes h1, bishop h2, king takes h2, rook h8, king g3, and then something that wins the game like knight f5, sort of grasping here. Maybe this is worth looking at though. Something with a double like rook and bishop sacrifice. Rook h1, knight h1, bishop h2. I'm not really considering rook h8 because they have queen a8. And then after king d7, they have at least queen takes h8. So probably knight takes h1, and then bishop h2, king h2. This is probably how it has to go. Rook h8 check. If they play king g1, there's rook takes h1 checkmate, so they have to go to g3. King g2 is illegal because there's a bishop on c6, so king g3. The only move that really makes sense to me here is knight f5. Like rook h3, they can just take it with the king. Rook d3, they can just take it with the pawn. So I don't think there's anything else besides knight f5. And after that, they can play king g4, which is refuted by rook h4, so they can't play that. But they can play king f4, and maybe that has a similar refutation actually, rook h4. I think that's the answer. Let's try. Yeah, they have to throw that in, but it's not really important to calculate. Doesn't change anything because we don't care if the rooks are connected or not. And then rook h4, so let me just double check that. Yeah, should be it. All-time high tactic correct standard. Whoa, amazing. This is just because I haven't done this very much, but yeah, good for me. Sorry, I'm still not feeling well. But yeah, I got 63 points from that for some reason. Excuse me. Alright, let's move on. I'm probably going to do this for like 40 minutes, and then maybe I'll play a couple games or something. You know, try to make this last a little while. Queen c3 is their move. Okay. So we have two minor pieces for a rook, and we could snag another minor piece if we want to, like rook or knight takes b7. But then they're pushing with a2 and then a1 and probably getting a queen. If we take this minor piece and then sack a minor piece to get this pawn, we probably retain some small material advantage, but I imagine it's a little bit symbolic at that point because it's not that clear. It's not that clear to me. Hey Shai, welcome to the chat, and thank you for becoming a member on YouTube. I really appreciate the support. NHL said maybe queen d7. Okay. Queen d7, I'm not sure if it's threatening something. Maybe you could explain your idea with that one to me. The only way I really see queen d7 panning out is if they, just kind of blithely advance on the queen side, and then we can deflect their rook, and then we can play queen takes e8. I'm not quite seeing it. For instance, if they play like queen takes c5, I'm not sure what I would do. Maybe just rook b7 or something. Stormy GD, welcome. Thank you for dropping in on Twitch. Yeah, there is a first time for everything, and a second time sometimes, or a third time. I usually say that I'll make any mistake twice, and that's why I'm a coach, because I've made all the mistakes at least twice. Yeah, so we're looking at this one. I guess without getting too philosophical, the question is like, why can't I just take this bishop? Like if I play rook takes b7 and they play a2, I think that's the only move that really is challenging. Yeah, I'm not sure queen e1 is really much. So probably rook takes b7 and a2 is the main problem. And I would probably have to sack a piece for that pawn because it's becoming something immediately. It occurs to me that if I play like bishop b1, they're actually going to play a1 queen. Arya, welcome. Arch West on YouTube, huh? NHL, I'm just going to call you NHL for short because I can't read all those numbers. The rook is not forced to go to f8 because it's already protected by the rook on a8. So I don't think queen d7 is forcing it. But I also wonder what else... Storm. Okay, thank you. I'm not sure what else we can really consider except for taking this bishop. It's like, do I take it with the knight? Do I take it with the rook? Maybe we take with the rook. I'm sorry, we take with the knight so we can sack the rook for the pawn. And in that final position, we're going to have 3 minor pieces against 2 rooks. That doesn't really feel right, though. Like, otherwise it's equal pawns. They don't have really major weaknesses. We could probably go for, like, knight d8 ideas at that point to try to attack f7, but I don't feel like it's really happening quickly. So my intuition is that we should probably look for other ideas, aside from sacking the rook for this a2 pawn. Queen b6 does threaten the bishop, but since it's already attacked twice, I kind of feel inclined to just take it. Vedant, welcome, thank you. I'm not really feeling good, honestly, but I think it's important to try to put in some chess work and be active. I'm going to just go as long as my voice lasts. I hope you are doing well in your tournaments. I really wish that I could have been there at Philadelphia Open and World Open, but I also think that my decision to withdraw made a lot of sense because I didn't really get better right after I withdrew. I think I would have started and just felt awful the whole time, and that's no good. That's not the point. Yeah, I mean, like, what other ideas do we have in this position? Like, we can take this bishop. I can't highlight any... Ooh, I can't highlight things. Ooh. Okay, so I can take this bishop right away. Okay. Oh, I almost made the move. Take this bishop, but I'm going to have to sack something for this pawn. Alright, I can only highlight one thing, it looks like. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out how to deal with that. Neon green. Will, it's been a while. I think it's been a while. But thanks for dropping in. I'm glad that you're here. Rook b3 might be some good memes. The downside is that they have queen e1, and then they can just do what they want after that. Yeah, so maybe it is slow. Vedant says World Open is going to be on Saturday. It doesn't start now. Oh yeah, I guess it ends on the 5th the 4th this year. So probably you could have started today if you wanted to, but yeah, that's a long time to stay at a hotel in Philadelphia. I like going to do some things in downtown Philadelphia, though. It's probably worth it. Yeah, good luck in World Open. Okay, so Arya is going for this knight a4 with the idea that if they take it, you play like bishop b5, I guess. But I think that after bishop b5, they don't actually have to move their rook and like they could just play a2. You know, they're threatening to take the rook, they're threatening a1 queen, which would protect the rook on a4. Storm is playing July 2nd and 3rd. No, I care. I actually made a post recently asking people what events they're playing. So, where are you playing July 2 and 3? Yeah, I imagine it's a local event since it's only 2 days. Green Bay. Okay. Well, good luck in that, and feel free to drop in the future and let us know how it went. If you want to, you could even join our Discord. I think this Discord link still works. If you want to join the Discord and just share with us your games, feel free. I think that link works. If it doesn't work, just let me know, and Yeah, Arya, I don't know if back rank's really going to happen here, because that takes a ton of work. Like, they're immediately getting a queen, and we'd have to get rid of both rooks somehow. Alright, Vidand, I'll see you on Twitch. Even attacks on f7 don't seem that promising here. My issue with this position is that it's not that I don't have a good idea. Welcome back, Blitzical. Also known as Vedant. I'm not that convinced by by different ways to capture the bishop, because we have to sack back a piece. I just don't like it. I guess what we could do is take with the rook. They play a2, and we play knight b3. At that point, they could play queen takes b3, and then we can take back with the rook, and then they're promoting. But what that does is it exchanges pieces when we're like slightly ahead, because we're taking the bishop. We're gonna have to sack back the knight. They're getting a queen, but they have to give up their pawn to get the queen, and they have to sack the queen to get that situation. So probably it's like we're getting a queen, a pawn, and a bishop, but they're getting a queen and a knight. So we're winning a pawn, but we already have 3 minor pieces against, or yeah, we have 2 minor pieces against a rook already. So that's probably the best we can do. I think I'm gonna go for rook b7 just to keep things moving. All right, and then knight b3. Quick sanity check. Is there anything else that makes any sense? I think the answer is no. Like, they're promoting on a1. I have no moves that control a1 except for knight b3. I don't see any forcing moves that like really make that much sense. All right, and that was the answer. I calculated queen takes. Can I do this? All right, cool. Yeah, I calculated this line. And this is what I was talking about, where like they give up a pawn. Because like even though we're not taking the pawn, it has to leave. And this position looks pretty good. I just wasn't that convinced because it's 2 minor pieces against rook, which is pretty small material advantage for a tactics puzzle. But this also just is the most logical. Okay. Yeah, so a couple of things have changed a little bit since some of you guys might have turned in before. So now I'm in the YouTube Partner Program, and I've launched a merch store, and you guys can get memberships if you want to support the channel. So feel free to check those things out. All the details are on my YouTube homepage. Jeff Baldwin, welcome. I was on Botez Live. I think that's the name of her channel. Yeah, I played against her, and I blundered, but it was interesting, and yeah, it was just good to show up and play. It turned out that I think more people watched our game than the World Championship. That's kind of silly. But yeah, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, thanks for dropping in after watching that stream. I hope that I can be more active because, no, I don't know if I'm more important than Magnus. Yeah, I hope that I can do this kind of stuff more often, and support from you guys is really, really helpful for making that happen. Welcome, Utermaster. Yeah, maybe I'm a little famous. I think I'm probably better known for things that are not chess, honestly, but maybe I can change that in a positive way. Okay, so let's look at this position. We've got this knight kind of hanging. For instance, if I take it, then they take with the king, then rook e5, they lose, so they have to take with the rook. And we'd be able to play rook h4 and trade rooks. And is that really desirable? Like, do I want to play this king and pawn endgame? Probably not. Well, actually, hold on. It'll be even material. And after, like, king f7, king d5, king e7, king c6, king e6, king b6, d5. King a6, d4, king b5. Yeah, I'm just winning. Yeah, maybe it's a winning king and pawn endgame. Of course, they don't have to play like king d5 and stuff, but if they're gonna do anything active, it has to be with the king, and I have this pass pawn. And I also have the active plan to go win the h pawn and push the g pawn. I guess they could play like b4. And a4 and then b5. So they don't have nothing to do. Yeah, Storm, I'm probably better known for my hair than anything. I don't know why that would be the case, but apparently long hair gang is a little bit sparse in the chess world. I would say I'm probably like better known for my science work because that's my main thing. I recently published again, and that was good. So I've been getting a lot of emails about my work. Apparently, my last paper was on AccuWeather, which is a big deal somehow. I thought that was kind of interesting. Oh yeah, Reporter is kind of gangsta. He's the actually we have a couple of long hair people in the candidates right now. It's like Rapport, he's a pretty long hair guy, and Nepomniachtchi. Okay, so I could go to a king and pawn endgame, and the only point of contention that I have here with that is that they could play b4 and a4 and b5, and that's probably not great for me. Their king's pretty active. I'm not sure I could really go win the h-pawn quickly enough for it to matter when they're playing b5 in like 3 moves. Okay, so going to the king and pawn endgame, maybe no. This pawn's hanging, but so is the d6 pawn. I could pin this knight. I'm not sure that's actually doing anything, but like maybe. For instance, rook e5, if they skip their turn, I could play g5. And after king f3, maybe I could just start improving my pieces because their things are pinned. Like king f7 to avoid knight f6. That could be a thing. Rook e5 probably wins. I'm still checking it out. I'm just going kind of slowly. You guys can definitely contribute if you want. Welcome Chess Active. I'm not sure how to watch World Open games. I'm not sure they even actually like broadcast anything. Maybe just the top couple boards. CCA is not very good about having an online presence for that kind of thing. Eater Master, rook e5, king f3, d5. They have knight f6 check. Oh, then I guess our rook's protected by g takes f6. Yeah, could be. Let me just see. The kind of science that I do is oceanography, Jeff. Like fluid dynamics type stuff. Okay, so Blitzical says that last year they were on Live Chess broadcast. So I guess you could check there. If the games are starting today, maybe they're showing those already. Open section usually starts earlier than everybody else. Yeah, I think rook e5 probably wins. I don't know if I really want to go to this king and pawn endgame when I could like keep the tension a little bit. So like rook e5, king f3, d5. They don't have anything there. Like knight f6, pawn takes protects the rook. If they wait, like let's say rook e5, h4. I would still get a king and pawn endgame, but with them playing the move h4 in the middle. I don't know, that seems like a very small difference. Eater Master says rook e5, h4, rook e7. But then isn't there knight f6? I don't think that's working. It's not pinned. Jeff says he's got a couple of articles in a computer magazine. That sounds pretty cool. What kind of computer thing? Like computer architecture? Or like hardware? Like what kind of thing? I'm into that stuff a little bit. I have some very faint aspiration to learn the assembly language type stuff. I want to reverse binaries. That could be good. No, that's a cool thing to hear about. Hacker Quarterly. That's an interesting title. So Storm says it's rook e5, king f3, d5, knight f6, gf6. Yeah, that's definitely one variation. What I'm not sure about is if they just wait. Because I'm just not that convinced that it's not something more forcing. Yeah, king f7 runs into knight g5. So you're right, it would have to be like king f8. But this all seems a little bit like just a little contrived. I'm not sure. Blizzical, yeah, maybe I should try to get the Twitch partner, maybe, but I don't really like the terms of service for Twitch, so I haven't worked very hard for it. If people want to watch stuff like this, though, on Twitch, I'm definitely down to scale it up, you know. I kind of am putting as much back in as you guys are showing in enthusiasm. And it sounds like, you know, a lot of people on Twitch care for this, so maybe. Chess active, yes, g5 is kind of coming. If we could force them to play king f3, that would be really great. My issue is that they can play h4 and stop g5, so I'm not too sure about that one yet. One thing that would be really nice is if we could make them play king e3. So I'm actually considering something like rook h4 immediately, because if they play king f5, then we have g6, and if they play king f3, then we have rook h3 with tempo, so that should be good. Maybe we even have something else after king f3. Rook h4 looks very promising. Oh, I guess after, yeah, king e3 still doesn't work, so yeah, maybe we'll just play rook h4 and see what happens, because this all seems more convincing to me than rook e5. Yeah, king f8, I'm not sure why you want to play king f8, though. Like, we're just not taking that piece yet. I feel like it should be rook h4. Let me think about this a little bit. Rook h4. King f5, g6, just wins. King f3, rook h3. And we're just a pawn up at that point. Yeah, king f3 is forced. That just seems super promising somehow. Rook h4, king f3. Yeah, I mean, I think I'll just play it. Oh, why'd they go there? That doesn't make sense. g6 just wins, right? What is this? I guess they have one trick, like to play king g5, because the rook has no squares, like bishop e4, king g5, but I'm taking this way. That was easy. Like, why did they choose this as the main line? Rook h4, king f3. Is there some, like, catastrophe occurring here that we don't see? Is there an engine on this website? Maybe it's already analyzed. Let's see. I was thinking just take this. If they go back, then we can always play the same position again with rook h4. Like, maybe then we play the king and pawn endgame. So they probably should play like king f2 or king g4. Maybe like king g4. I don't know, I guess this is just hopeless too. But I don't see why this should be the main line. Like this. Maybe they're getting... Oh, now I can make an arrow. Okay, cool. Oh, I guess you can't make an arrow while you're solving. That makes some sense. The arrow looks kind of weird. Yeah, I guess that's just it. They want to be able to try to get me to sack a bishop for counterplay over here, but it's just not happening. Alright. I don't know why. I think king f3 makes a lot more sense. Like, you should just try to hang on that way. Alright, now we're getting forked, as they say. I could just take it. Why not? Well, we're down a minor piece, so maybe we should be going for more. Going for broke. Oh, there's rook takes c8. That makes a lot of sense. And then there's mate. Like rook takes, rook takes, rook takes again, knight f8, rook takes f8, king takes f8, queen h8. That's pretty convincing. Okay, obviously if I take this now, they're going to take with a rook. So probably rook takes b8. Queen takes b8. Oh, and thank you for the follow, Dark Gmork. I'm glad you like it. Queen h8 is not a thing here because we don't have a dark bishop. If we could play like rook f8 and then bishop h, like, you know, bishop h6 or something, that'd be cool, but we don't have one. So I think rook b8 with the idea that if they play queen b8, we can move our queen and hold hands and sing Kumbaya or something. You know, like in the end, we're gonna have equal material. But maybe there's a win here still. Like I could take, move, they take, and then I have knight and bishop against knight and bishop. Yeah, it's nice to have everybody here in the chat today. Maybe I'm wrong about rook f8. Like rook f8, rook f8, is there something here that's good? Or maybe an in-between queen move. Like queen e... No, not queen e5, it's ridiculous. Maybe I need to choose a move, like rook b8, queen b8, and then something where I just don't take back on c1. No, taking the rook makes sense. Like, you're definitely not losing at that point. If this was like a blitz game, I probably would just do that, because there's a big risk of flagging if you think this long on a position like this. Maybe there's an attack the defender type thing, like queen d5, queen d4 here. Like they take, and they actually can't take on c1 because of rook takes b8. And then the knight or the bishop is trapped because if they play bishop c6, we have rook c8. Okay, suddenly this makes a lot of sense. Queen d4, attacking the queen. Threat is just queen takes b6, rook takes b6, and rook takes a8. There's also rook takes f8, because if they play king takes, there's queen h8, and if they play rook takes, there's queen takes b6. I think queen d4 is winning, yeah. Chess Active and Blitzical, all you guys seem to agree. Let's go for it. And now rook f8, right? I think this is the whole shebang. It needs to be forcing also, because like they have knight e2. So we should probably take that. And then we have 2 minor pieces and a queen against a rook and 3 minor pieces. I think that's good enough. Woohoo! 1900 something. Alrighty. Let's keep going. Maybe do a few more on this training set, then switch to the harder one. Uter Master, the knight c2 will take the bishop on a8. This is chess tempo. Actually, I had a little text box showing that. Maybe bring it to the front. Woohoo! Chess tempo time. Yeah, that's where we're at right now. All right, now back to the puzzle. Could be a checkmate right here on g7. Okay, it turns out I can't highlight things. There could be checkmate stuff on h7, like knight f6, bishop f6, queen h7 type stuff. Although I'm not convinced. The rook is hanging, so there could be like queen f8 stuff. You could just play like rook h3 and see what happens because we're threatening to move the knight and then play queen h7. But they could play f6 maybe and guard all their stuff. Yeah, knight f6, bishop f6, rook h3 looks pretty convincing. Rook g3 is an idea too. Knight f6, bishop f6, rook h3. Do they have anything here? They're just blocking their own pawn, so probably that's it. Knight f6, bishop f6, rook h3, and then nothing. No check, no nothing. And the rook's hanging, so I can just take that. Okay, this was all kind of unexpected, so I'm not that happy about that. I wanted to see all this ahead of time, but that's okay. They can't take the bishop because of rook h7. Whoop. We got him. Good job, squad. That king looks a little trappy, kind of. Knight f4 stuff, maybe. Rook takes. No, I don't think that's good. We have a lot of pawns. Chess active. I'm glad you solved it in 3 seconds. This is the medium problem set. It's not that hard. But I also don't want to rush through them necessarily. Bring the hardest ones? Alright, I'll switch after this. So what's the solution for this one then, if these are too easy for you? It could just be like trade in this position, like knight f4. If they move their king, we're probably just winning on the spot. For instance, knight f4, king g5. Kind of inclined to just say like knight e6 and the attack goes on, but the thing that really concerns me is that they could sack and play knight f3. That's the main thing. Knight f4, rook f4, queen f4, knight f3, king h1, I'm actually okay because there's no double check. Their queen's under attack. They could play queen d5, but their king is so unsafe, like we should be able to manage. Jeff Baldwin has a good question. Am I a fan of Chessable? I think Chessable is pretty great. No, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I just do this for fun. Yeah, Chessable's pretty good, although I do wish that they had done more to develop their site in the last 3 years, because I paid up front for a membership to try to support them because I saw a lot of potential in it, but their site's been pretty static. They're getting more books, but like features wise, it's pretty much like it does what it says on the tin. You know, their initial thing with you know, the move trainer, that's like pretty much the only thing that makes them distinctive as a site. So I kind of hope to see more of that. So Yettermaster is saying, like, seems like he's saying knight f4 is refuted by rook f4. I'm not sure because of the idea that I could just allow it, like queen f4, knight f3, king h1, and then I guess you're doing something there. But I don't know, at the same time, like queen d5, it's not obvious what I should play. Queen e2 maybe is good. I was mostly thinking that we're fine because of their king safety problems, but also nothing concrete. So probably it's worth considering something else. Other first moves. If we could push d6, that would be good, but knight f3 is happening right now. Chess active, my issue with king g2 is that they have a move like knight e1 double check. The discovery is meaningful, I think. I can't take the queen because the knight's checking the king, so I'd have to play king g1, and then there's queen g2 mate. So that's why I was thinking king h1. King h3? Oh, okay, maybe knight e1, king h3. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, maybe it's really just not much. Knight f4 is the only move that really comes to my mind, too. Rook e1, and then they take it? I don't know about that. I think it's like check and then checkmate after that. I think knight f4 is the only move that really makes sense here. Like, just by elimination, probably have to do it. Yeah, queen g2 does take. But I think king h1 is working. Like, knight f4, rook f4, queen f4, knight f3, king h1. There's no double check. So they have to play either like queen e2 or queen d3 or queen... Yeah, or queen d3. No queen c4 because we can just take it. Or queen d5. And let's say they play like queen d5, you know? There should be something here. I don't see what it is right now, but like there just should be something. I'm trying to see it ahead of time. I don't want to just play it and figure it out. But at the same time, in a real game, I would do that. I don't think there's anything that makes sense here. Except for knight f4. I'll be quite surprised if it's not knight f4. Okay. Now, the only thing I didn't really consider is pawn takes f4. And the reason is that after knight f3, king h1, knight h4 check, or knight e1 check, I don't have queen takes e4. That's really important. So I think, again, my only move is queen f4. I guess I could look for some checks or something. But like queen b6 or queen c6, they're playing rook f6 again. Same threats, you know. Different person, same old mistakes. So I think it should be this. Okay, I can only play this. I guess that's the answer. I don't need to see anything more than that. Okay. Well, I guess this one wasn't too hard for you, Chess Active. Maybe I'll do a couple more of this set, and then we can do the actually hard ones. Because, you know, I'm still warming up. You know, I haven't done anything, really. Shai's telling me that I have considerable white noise on YouTube. That is quite strange. I don't know what to think about that. What happens after queen takes d5? Oh, can I go back to the old puzzles? The URL is static, so I don't think I can go back. But after queen d5, I think just like start checking their king or something. I didn't see that far, but I just knew that something should be there. Okay, so here we are. Yeah, I know it's not a satisfying answer, but I just don't quite know. Apparently that was the answer to the puzzle. I am equal material, except for the pawns. Well, I only say except for the pawns because this pawn is really good. This one. But king's not safe. There's like 97 memes, things like that. Would be nice to checkmate them. Maybe like e3 check, king e3, queen f3, king d2, queen takes e2. Like everything's coming with check should be pretty snazzy. Also, even if I'm not taking with check somehow, like knight e7, king h8, they're not checkmating me. Like even if they get like queen c3 or queen e5, I have king h7. So that seems pretty convincing. E3. If they play king d3, there's bishop takes, king takes, queen f2. That also looks pretty convincing. Just big attack. In HL, I didn't follow the knight e1 or knight e7 thing. I guess like we have to look out for that from white, probably. Okay, and also if I play e3 and they play like king e1, there's queen f2. If it's king d1, then queen a1 wins. And if king c1, then queen a1 wins. Yeah, this seems pretty good. Alright, now, is this the best, bishop e2, or should it be something else? I think if I play like bishop f5 or something, it just muddies the waters. Could play queen f5. But then after like king c3, I think it's also not... not clear, because if I play bishop e2, then there's knight e7. So I think takes, queen f2 is most obvious, like king d3, queen d2, king e4, e2, knight e7, king h8, like just looks fine. It's coming with check, like everything's good. Alright, so that was it. Any knight e2, king h8, queen c3. I think you meant bishop e2. Oh, knight e7, king h8, queen c3. And I get the e pawn. Let's go back since we're still on this one. So I think you were saying let me see. I'm trying to follow what you were saying here. 2000 on chess tempo. Yeah, I could easily do that. You even kick it up a notch and do that probably. The thing is, they're in check. They don't have knight e7. Dark mark. So I think that's why that isn't really happening. Let's see, maybe 2 more on this difficulty and then switch. Okay, this one looks like rook takes d5, because if they take the queen, we take their queen. Oh, it's not that clear. They take, and then it's bishop against rook. Takes. Yeah, not that clear. We can't get our king in easily to promote these pawns. And these are on light squares over here, so probably we can't play this bishop against rook. Queen takes c7, knight takes c7 is not a thing, as far as I can tell. Probably don't want to do that. Nothing like g4, because they can take en passant. I'm kind of honing in on how these squares are weak, like h8, maybe h6. No, you don't suck. These are just difficult. The problem with rook d7 is that they have queen takes d7 NHL. National Hockey League. If they didn't have that, maybe, but also they have king g8. Like, definitely they're escaping somehow. So I guess we're hunting for other queen moves, because rook c6 is also not that convincing, I think. I don't know, maybe it's good, because we are getting a passed pawn, potentially. Like, rook c6, if they take it, we just play b takes. And they don't have any checks, because our bishop's covering it. Oh, no, yeah, our bishop's covering e5, and our queen's covering f4. Yeah, no g4, not happening. g4, they will take en passant. And after we play pawn takes, they have a free hand. They can just do whatever they want there. I think that doesn't make sense. Like, rook takes c1. Yeah, Utermaster, we can't play rook c7 in that position. Why not rook d8? Okay, good question. Now that's more along the lines of what we should be talking about. Like, h8 is a weakness. We should just go for it. Rook takes c1 is met by rook h8. That's checkmate. So I guess... Sorry, guys. Still not doing great. They'll probably play like g5. Something like that. Utermaster, if you want to play rook c8, you should probably just play rook d8 in the first place. I think that makes a lot more sense. No, g4 is not happening. I don't want to see en passant. By the way, if you guys are on Twitch, feel free to check out my YouTube channel. The link just dropped there. And I have some slightly different content there. So, welcome back, Blitzical. I'm imagining you like running your game, making a move, and coming back to watch the stream. Although I know that's not what's happening. So rook d8, I think they have to play like g5. Rook h8, king g6. And maybe something there. Oh, maybe it's rook d8 and rook takes d5. Yeah. Okay, dude, maybe they're too easy. But you didn't tell the answer for the last one. Rook d8, g5, and rook takes d5. I think this is it. Alright, rook takes, queen c7. Yeah. Alright, one more on this, and then we can kick it up. Since Chess Active is, like, getting mad at me for doing possible puzzles. Yeah, exactly, Eater Master. Go for above 2400? Yeah, maybe I should. I don't know if I can the way I am right now, health-wise, but I can always try. I'm fine with that. So here we have... Sorry, it's just hard to focus when I'm coughing all the time. Rook g6, pawn g6, and then something maybe? Or like... I don't know, it should be like something with rook g6 probably. Rook takes, pawn takes... Like what's happening? The thing is they also have rook c1 kind of. I guess not if we play queen h6. Rook takes, pawn takes, queen h6. That looks kind of right. Yeah, so what's the difference with queen f6? That's probably a good question. Rook takes, pawn takes, queen f6. We're not threatening h7 in addition to g7, so maybe they have a way of guarding it. Oh, also we're not guarding the back rank. Like if we play queen f6, there's rook c1. We could probably play king h2, but yeah, let's see, rook c1, king h2. We are threatening mate, so like, what are they really gonna do? Maybe this is just like a one-move puzzle. Oh no, I got it wrong. I should have thought more. This one's rook d8, which also looks totally right. Like if they take on g5, we take on e8. If they take that, we take with a rook. There should be a mate here. Okay, that was frustrating. I just moved too quickly because I'm under pressure from the audience. Yeah, rook d6 is bad. Who said rook g6? I said rook g6, dude. Something's hanging. Rook takes. Oh yeah, rook d7 is hanging. That's why. That sucks. Okay, well maybe just switch to the harder one to appease the masses. I think... Okay, yeah, I think this is first in set. On the harder difficulty. That was g6, no follow-up. Okay, I missed it. Yeah, I'm not seeing everything today. I'm cool with that. Okay, so anyway, let's look at this. Yeah, Chess Active keeps bringing up how he played me years ago on an account that he's deactivated. I wonder what happened with that account. We need a rematch? I don't feel a need for a rematch. I feel okay. But if you want a rematch, maybe at some point. Okay, so they have like knight f3 stuff maybe, but the rook's hanging. But if we just play like any capture on d4, they have like queen takes d4 and then rook takes e1, or just straight up queen takes e1. So what's the deal with this? There could be some kind of like knight f6 ideas. Maybe we could get something like that going. Yeah, knight takes h5 is on my mind. Knight takes h5. Okay, now the first one in the hard set, and he's complaining. Come on, chess active. I thought these were all easy. What happened? So I guess knight takes, pawn takes on h5, and what's our follow-up here? Like rook f4? I don't think it's rook f4. Because there's knight f3. Doesn't that kind of complicate things? Takes, queen takes d4. Yeah, maybe I missed something if you're saying gx h5 with 2 question marks. Knight takes, pawn takes. Rook f4, not even knight f3. I just noticed that after rook f4 they have knight h3. Like, we're not guarding h3 anymore. In fact, after knight takes h5, what if they just play knight h3? King h2 forced. Yeah, probably they can't get away with knight h3 right away. But like after pawn takes, rook f4, there's definitely knight h3. We can just take it all. Yeah, just check king h2. I think after king h2, there's not really a follow-up, so it's not happening. Yeah, knight h3, king h2, knight f2, but then there's knight f6. So it's not like just resigns, but I also don't think we should play king h2 and then like something. So I don't think knight h5, knight h3. King h2, rook d2. But then knight f6 check. I'm taking the queen. It's not check because the rook's on f2. No, I'm not playing rook takes d2. I'm playing knight f6. That's why we're checking this, right? Am I not following what you're saying here? I thought we were talking about knight h5 and then knight h3 because that was Utermaster's. He said it's resigns, but I don't think so. Like knight h5, knight h3, king h2. If you play knight f2, I'm playing knight f6. Do I like light chess or chess tempo more? I haven't done enough chess tempo to actually know. No, not king h2 in the starting position. That's like a ridiculous place to start. So I think so after knight h5 we need to refute it. Like pawn takes. Chess active is just saying it looks super good and not qualifying it. But after knight takes, pawn takes, if I play rook f4, there's knight h3. So I'm still kind of grasping here for like what is the reason I'm playing knight h5. If they can just take it. Like I don't know if I have a follow-up there. Maybe I'm just not seeing things again, but I just don't see it. Chess active is telling what the computer will play? Okay. Well, I'm not the computer. I don't care what the computer will play. So, but anyway, like, maybe to your point, knight h5 is not as forcing as we think, maybe. The thing is, with knight h5, if you play knight f3, I'm playing rook f3, right? I guess you could play queen f3 to escape. But then knight f6, king, maybe h6, knight takes e8. And then you have rook d2, perhaps. No, rook d2 runs into queen h8, mate. Yeah, I think we're just rehashing lines that we've already talked about. Yeah, this is taking longer, sorry. I guess I could just like set a timer for myself, and then if I get it wrong, I get it wrong. I think I'll do that. You know, like, I don't care about what my rating is on the site or anything like this, so I'll set a timer here. Maybe 3 minutes per position. Alright, I started a timer for this one. Hopefully you guys can't hear it when it goes off. Okay, so knight h5 was kind of a lead, but we just keep finding counterplay for black, so it doesn't seem like it's really working. Maybe h4. Idea, knight f3, rook f3, queen f3, queen d4, but then like there's queen g3, king f1. Looks like a draw. I think they can just keep checking us. h4, knight f3, rook f3, queen f3. Queen takes, queen g3, king f1. h4, knight f3, rook f3. Like that's where I'm at right now. h4. Well, what if they just move away? Like, do we even care? h4, like knight, I don't know, f7. What's our follow-up there? Okay, h4, knight f7, and then knight takes h5. Because after pawn takes rook f4. Or maybe they'll play knight e6, therefore. But then knight takes, rook takes, queen takes d4. Chess active, there's not knight f3 if you play h4 first. That's the line we're on. h4, knight e6. I guess they could... The thing is, like, if they play h4, knight f3, we can just take it, right? Queen takes, and then queen d4. Queen g3, it's like a draw. I think it's fine to take a draw here. Like, takes on g3, king f1, takes on h3, king e2. You could probably play that. Yeah, what if we play e takes d4? That's also a totally legitimate question. I don't think we have any advantage there. Like, e takes, queen e1, rook e1, king g2. Gaius, welcome. 3 a.m. What are you doing up? I say as I stay up to 3 a.m. Alright, timer's about to go off. Alright, Blitzical, take care. Yeah, I think it's a draw. Maybe there's something we're missing where, like, we can just take this rook with the queen. Queen takes, pawn takes, rook e1, king g2. Like, what's happening? I guess they get behind this pawn with rook d1. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if there is any other logical move. Like, it's either, like, super deep or... I don't know. Maybe it's, like, a defensive puzzle. Like, maybe we need to, like, badly avoid knight f3. I don't know, this is tough to figure out. Alright, just like one more quick search. Yeah, knight h5 does look kind of suspicious. Oop. I'm in the scene looking at your chat and I just accidentally started moving it. Okay. I'll just try knight h5 because I really don't know anything else. This one was h4. The move that I was looking at. That's annoying. So here I was wondering, what if knight e6? I need to not listen to you guys. I should just play. Takes, rook takes. I guess we're just playing this endgame, right? There's no engine for me to, like, check this out, I don't think. Oh, here it is. Alright, go. Let's see. Here it says rook f4. Like the same idea I was looking at. That's annoying. Alright, let's just keep going. h4 is engine? No, it's not. I suggested h4. I was analyzing it. It's not an engine move. Anyway, I'm gonna start a timer. We're gonna start doing these like just 3 minutes. No more nonsense. Okay, here it could be like queen a1. And if they play bishop a5, we could play bishop d2. And if they play queen b5, we play knight b3. That could be it. But if queen a1, king b7, maybe just trade queens, queen e2. And what's my winning plan? Bring the knight to h5. I think that's it. Alright. This one was bishop d2. Oh, there's a mate on b6. Okay, I missed that. Alright, but I did a puzzle in under 3 minutes, so I consider that a success. Okay, let's see. There's a double attack, like queen f6 and queen e7. What's the deal? Alright, starting my timer. Queen f6. What are they even going to play here? We're down a minor piece, but if we take this rook with check, like, it can't be bad. I think it's just queen f6. Bishop f8, okay. Maybe I'll just take it. Or maybe there's a better move here. Got 2 minutes to figure it out. Like rook d8, there's knight d8. That's not anything. Knight d8, they also have knight d8. I don't think that's anything either. Knight a7, queen a8. Probably that's not working either. I think I should just take the rook. Like, I don't see it. Queen e8 now. What's this? I don't like it when the puzzle just goes on like this. But beggars can't be choosers. Queen f6, queen c6, rook d8, knight d8 protects the queen. So that's not it. Maybe just move this knight away somewhere. Like knight b4. Runs into queen a4. Knight d4 runs into... No, knight d4, queen a4, we have b3. And if knight takes, rook takes... I feel like I'm just playing a position at this point. It's not... Alright, my time's almost out. Alright, but we're almost done, so... Knight e7, king e7, queen f6, king e8 is like nothing. Is there something here with knight d8? Like knight takes d8 and then... I don't know, maybe it's just knight d4, like just move on with our lives. Knight d4 runs into queen d8, really? Take the bishop? I think if I take the bishop, they'll play knight takes. I think knight d4, I have to just play it. Like, there's no other way to not lose this piece. What? I lost the puzzle now. It said it was rook c1. Okay, that was So it was stupid for me to say that there's no other way to save this piece. I just really wanted to keep the control on the d file for some reason. That's not totally rational. So just protect that. Yeah, that makes sense to me, so I can move on. It's okay. Alright, so now I start the timer again. Here we go. So it's a rook against two minor pieces, and their king's not safe. So probably it's a mate. Dark squares are pretty well covered. I don't know if it could be as simple as queen c2 because there's queen f8. So probably it has to be like checking happening right now. Like queen e1, but then there's rook d1, but then there's no queen f8 anymore. So maybe that's good actually. Rook d1, rook takes f3, queen takes f3, protects the rook. So probably not. Rook h1, bishop h1, queen e1, king a2. That doesn't look quite right either. Rook c1 is unhuman? No, it's not. It's fine. Queen f1, yeah, maybe queen f1. But then there's rook d1, right? And then queen f3. Okay, actually that looks right to me. Like if they play rook d1, we play queen f3. So probably it'll be like queen f1 or queen e1, I'm not sure, or queen g1, not sure which yet. And then bishop d1. But if they have to play bishop d1, do we have something here? Like something that just prevents queen f8? Because we really just can't allow queen f8. That's the main thing. Maybe it's like queen e1, bishop d1, then rook h8. So when they play rook takes h8, we play queen takes d1. And king b2. No, I don't think that makes sense. Yeah, queen f1, bishop d1. Or any of those checks, bishop d1. So they have to play bishop d1 in response to those checks if they want to keep queen f8 in the cards and not lose a piece. It could also be that we just take the bishop and like don't care. Like what if I play rook takes, you know, with big threats, and they play queen f8 and I play king g6 and they play queen g8 because, oh, actually they have knight e7. That looks like something I should care about. Because then they have at least perpetual because we're not. Well, maybe that's not true. Hold on. Knight e7, king g5, queen g8, king f4. And then rook d4. Yeah, I mean, their initiative just keeps going. I'll probably make a mistake there. Yeah, catch you later, Dark Gamork. Yeah, reading your lines is confusing me, Eater Master. You're like, knight f3, knight f3. Like, what is going on? I don't want to do Puzzle Rush today. I'm like very slow. I'm not doing well. Just like very foggy mind at the moment. Because I've been sick. So like slower is better for me right now. And I generally won't do things if I just wouldn't do them on my own, even if it's on stream. It could be like rook h8. Like they take and then we do some checking stuff, but I don't think that's true. The thing is, I don't know what I want to play in all the lines where they end up playing king b2. I think a lot of the play depends on that. But I don't know the answer to my question. So maybe I'll just like king e1, bishop d1, and then something like rook b4. I don't know. Just throwing that out there. I don't know, maybe not. Or maybe like queen g1, bishop d1, and then rook f1. Just allow queen f8. I don't know. Could be just rook b4 right away, but that kind of lets some pressure off. I'm not sure about that. I think it could just be that I have to defend, because like all the checks are answered by either bishop d1 or king b2, and I don't know what to do against king b2 and or bishop d1 really. Bishop's the piece that's hanging here. Like nothing else really seems important. Like rook h1, bishop h1, I just don't see anything. So probably have to just take it. If I take with the queen, then I lose, because queen takes, queen f8, king g6, knight e7, king g5, queen g8. There should be a mate here, because I can't play king f4. So I think I just have to play rook f3 and see what happens. Alright, there we go. Ignoring the chat is the key. Queen f8 doesn't work, it looks like, yeah. Okay, looks like you guys were thinking on queen e1. Chess Active, you probably got sick in Las Vegas. That's kind of what happened for me, I'm pretty sure. Okay, starting my 3-minute timer again. Some of these puzzles is just not feasible. There's like too many moves to play. This one could be like knight g5, because if they take, I take the queen. And if they play something else, I might play knight h3. Like knight g5, queen f5. Okay, queen f5 guards it. Knight h3, queen h3. Yeah, I don't know about that. Doesn't look like it's really happening after queen f5. Okay, so just search for more ideas here. Just like bishop g2 stuff maybe, or pawn takes d6 stuff. Take care, Eater Master. Maybe it's knight f... No, not knight... Maybe knight f4. I don't think so, though, because there's queen f4. If it was rook takes, then yeah, but no, it's not happening. Maybe I just need access to the back rank, but they're getting knight d2, which protects the back rank. Like knight g5, queen f5, rook a e8, they'll play knight d2. And then I don't think anything's really happening. Maybe I could get them to put their queen somewhere, so I could play like bishop takes g2, rook takes g2, queen takes g2, king takes g2, knight takes f4 with the double attack, but I don't see how I could make them put their queen anywhere fun. Chess Active, why are you so sure that it's correct? I don't know why you're going that way. Knight g5, queen f5, I probably have to play g6. But then after queen g4, I'm not sure what the follow-up should be. Knight f3, so that if they play rook f3, I play queen g4, pawn g4, and then bishop f3, but that's not right. That doesn't make sense. Knight g5, queen f5, g6, queen g4. I don't know, I don't see anything really fun or interesting here. Knight g5, queen f5, bishop c8, d7, bishop takes, queen takes, rook d1. That makes sense. No, rook d1. D1's actually guarded by the bishop. Alright, what's my timer say? Oh, I'm out of time. Well, I told myself I would make a move here after 3 minutes. Bishop c8 first doesn't make sense to me. Like, they're gonna just play knight d2. I kind of like knight g5 because at the very least, like, it's equal. Just seems kind of right to me. Very least it's equal. Here it could be g6, allowing queen g4, but like maybe the game goes on somehow. Maybe bishop g2 now. And then rook g2 and then knight h3. Bishop takes, rook takes, knight h3. I guess they could play like king f1. That seems a little unclear. Maybe bishop takes, rook takes, knight f3. Because if king f1, then queen e1. And if king h1, then queen e1 again, and it wins. So what's the answer for bishop g2? I'm not sure they have one. Bishop g2, if they play queen g4 is knight h3. I think this is it. Okay, there we go. It has to be queen g5, but I just take that. Alright, finally. Yeah, it's good that I'm ignoring you. You're saying bishop c8, c takes d6. Alright, so that was at all-time high, apparently. So I'll do a few more. Alrighty, a rook endgame. I like that. So probably the winning thing is to transition to a pawn endgame. So rook takes, pawn takes, king c6, c5. If I take, then I lose, so I have to play like b6. And the f and d pawns aren't close enough to each other. So they have to take on b6 to keep counterplay. I'll take on b6. They play f5, king c6, f6, king takes d6. It's just in time. No, it has to be rook takes g3. That sucks. So what was wrong with this? Oh, maybe I should have looked for another move here. I only thought about this move. Like, that's winning. Oh, the pawn's already on f5, I think. Wait, hold on. No. Okay, it wasn't already there. So this is also winning. So I'm probably missing something here. Alright, let's see what the little engine window has to say about this. Yeah, this is winning. So what was wrong? This is winning. This is a wrong puzzle. The engine itself is telling me that this is winning. How do I report this puzzle? Alright, I don't know how to use this website well enough to report this puzzle, but my solution is actually correct. The engine says so. You hate chess tempo? That's too bad. I feel similar, but it's okay. Just move on with my life. Okay. So, what's this one? Well, a lot of the chess content out there is kind of stupid. It's okay. You have to just deal. I mean, it's not like chess players make amazing interfaces all the time. Like, they're mainly good at chess, and they have to do things that aren't chess to try to make money, and this is how these things happen. Like, using machine learning to generate your chess problem sets without any QA/QC, it's probably going to run into problems. Queen b3 comes to my mind here, and then there's rook c2, and queen b1, then rook c1 again, but that doesn't look really convincing. Maybe queen b3, rook c2, and then like rook c8, but then that gives them a move to play bishop d3. I'm not sold on it. Maybe I could just, like, I don't know, throw this check and then take on a4 or something. If we take on a4 right now, they play bishop c4. Are you trolling me, dude? I don't feel very frozen as white if I can play bishop c4. Well, I guess I'm just looking for alternatives to queen b3. Oh, I should start my timer, so I don't just stare at this forever. Okay. Yeah, maybe we just play queen b3 and then take on a4. The thing is, they still have bishop c4. Well, we could take on a4 with the queen. I guess it's what you're trying to tell me. Again, I should just focus on the position. So queen b3, rook c2, queen takes a4. Resignsville, probably. Should I add in rook c8 is probably a good question. Because I think they have to play bishop d3, which is not terribly active. And then the bishop will hang in some lines where they're trying to get counterplay. One thing that comes to my mind is like queen b3, rook c2, queen takes a4, and then maybe they'll have queen d5. And if I play king g7 or king h8, they have queen e5 winning the rook, and that would suck a lot. And if I play king f8, maybe I have king f8, queen d5, king f8, and then I'm probably gonna have to stop soon. I'm getting old? I mean, if you say so. Just because I'm, like, careful doesn't mean I'm getting old. I'm just taking my time. I'm not ordering from the senior menu anytime soon. Queen d5, king f8. I don't know, maybe it's fine. Just allow queen d5, play king f8, and then if queen f3, then I can play king g7. No, there's queen f6. So I would have to play king e8 probably. Actually, yeah, I think this is counterplay. Like, queen d5 is a serious problem. Queen b3, rook c2, queen a4, queen d5, king f8, queen f3. I can't... If I go back to g8, they have queen d5 again. If I play king g7, there's queen f6. And if king g8, then they have queen e6. And we're kind of in a similar position to before. Queen e6, king f8, and then queen f6 again. Yeah, so we are in a similar situation. Yeah, I'm not sold on this queen b3 and queen a4 thing. Queen b3, rook c2. I feel like it should be something where I'm like getting the queen to e1 or something like that. But I don't want to allow all this counterplay. I'm not sure what else I really want to do here. I haven't exhausted the possibilities because there's still like rook d8 ideas or maybe queen f2 type stuff. But in all these lines where I move my queen off of f7, they have the same queen d5 stuff. At least it seems that way. Like maybe it's queen f2, just for sake of argument. Because if they play king c2, we have queen e2. If they play like rook c2, we have queen e1 mate. So they would probably play something like rook c7, trying to go for mate on g7. But then we have queen e1, king c2, queen e2. King c1, I guess. Bishop a3. I think the tide is probably going with us at that point. So maybe this is worth considering. Queen f2, rook c7, queen e1, king c2, queen e2. And if they play something simple like queen f2, queen d3, then we have queen e1, king c2, rook c8, and we're picking up this rook. So maybe queen f2, queen d5 is important. King f8. Now where's the next check? They don't have queen f5. Queen f3. Actually, maybe they want to play this endgame. Queen f3, queen takes, bishop takes, pawn takes a4, and maybe they're arguing that it's equal somehow. Queen b3, rook c2, bishop e7. I don't think that makes sense. Like, pawn takes b5 probably. Actually, after queen f3, I could play queen takes, bishop takes, rook d8. I don't know, maybe that's actually a good position. It looks a little drawish, but we also have these pass pawns promoting on dark, so that could be worth playing. It's a little speculative. I don't feel that convinced after queen b3, because I feel like if I play queen a4, like that's the only move that really makes a lot of sense. All right, maybe it's not. We could still play rook c8. Should probably analyze that. Yeah, rook c8, we were talking about they have to defend this rook. Like with queen d3 or bishop d3. These are the only moves. So this is probably important to analyze. Bishop e7, let's see, queen b3, rook c2, bishop e7, maybe king c1, bishop a3, king back to d1, but then you don't have rook d8. I don't really want to guess. I feel like I'm just guessing if I play this line. But yeah, again, I'm not even paying attention to my timer, just forgetting about it. Queen b3 does seem pretty good. I don't know about bishop e7. I guess I could look at it. Rook c8's also there. So let's say I play bishop e7, king c1, bishop a3, king d1. Oh, actually, there's bishop e7, king c1, rook d8, queen like somewhere, I don't care, and then bishop a3. That looks pretty good. And after bishop e7, other moves that they could play, like bishop d3 maybe. That still runs into rook d8. Alright, I'm going to try this. Of course it's wrong. It says rook c8. Is bishop e7 really wrong? Let's see. It says it's equal after bishop takes b5. That's kind of crazy. Oh, they could play bishop d7. This is probably it. Oh no, here's bishop c4 check. It's like the same thing that I was looking at in the first place. Alright, so rook c8. And then here they have to play this. And here bishop e7 looks like it's winning, but it's saying queen b1 check is the best. Queen b1, king e2, and then rook takes. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. This is actually really simple. I don't like that I missed this. Okay, well, I will probably stop right now. Dude, I'm not looking at the chat because you're just saying a lot of stuff. You don't have any accountability. I have to solve it. Yeah. Well, I don't like that I got that one wrong, but I'm gonna stop right here because I don't feel so great, and I'll try to do this again tomorrow. and hopefully I'll feel a little bit better tomorrow. Anyway, that was good. Thanks for tuning in, you guys, and I'll catch you later. Take care.